What is going on, everybody? Thank you for joining us on another Fortunes in Reselling live show. I think today we're going to name it the Wade and Jason Show because it's honestly just us two right now, and we couldn't keep you guys waiting. Scott may jump in later. Chris might join us later as well, but I think Shane and Lauren are both out today. But anyways, guys, without further ado, I'm not going to keep you guys waiting. We're going to talk about the ups and downs of reselling and what you can do to conquer the summer slowdown. So a lot of you guys, a lot of people that follow me, and a lot of people that are know me know that I got started selling on eBay, selling clothing. And clothing, definitely, there's a major difference in sales between summer and winter. But we're going to talk about how you can conquer that. But anyways, Wade, introduce yourself, my man.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome in. And yeah, we are light, but I promise we'll bring a bang. Got some good stuff to share with you guys. Happy Mother's Day, too. Seriously, all you mothers out there, everybody, whether you're a grandmother, a mom, you got anybody in your life that has done those duties, happy Mother's Day, seriously. But yeah, I am Wade with Wade's Ventures. I do a lot of stuff, and you guys all know me. And welcome in. We got a great show for you tonight. Just us two, but we're going to make it happen.
Yeah, absolutely. And like Wade said, happy Mother's Day to all you mothers and, single fathers out there. Happy Mother's Day to you too as well. It's rare, but I know it happens. Anyways, guys, let's see who's in the chat. Shout a few people out. Thrifty Santa's in here. What's going on, Barry? Hey, what's up? By the Cleveland Picker. What's going on? Dan Denny, hey there. Bastard King. I'm right here. My name is Shane. He says, that's a great name. Hilarious. Ready and waiting. Rump Stump. What's going on? Geezer Man. Wade, you get any good stuff at the bins? Wade, how'd you score at the bins, my man?
We went right before the movie, and we were just kind of goofing around, just did a video. But Mom got some yarn, guys, and that's why she goes. So she got some yarn. I got a couple books, and then I got a really cool, really expensive fan that I'm going to use for the office, even though I have AC in there. So it was fun. I like doing those videos. I did get busted for the second time. They're like, you can't film in here. And I was like, well, I'm not filming anybody per se, just the items. So you guys know the rules are you can't film people, but you can film items in the bins when you go, at least at ours. So, but he was completely cool. Finished my live stream. It went really well. But Jason, you made the best title in the world, man, because Summer Slowdown is something that everybody is interested in and wants to hear about. And I know that, what was it, a week ago, you had a $1,000 day on eBay. You're crushing it over there. So I do a few things during summer as well, and hopefully it helps you guys. Before I pass it over, is any of you guys experiencing slower sales right now for the summer? I'm really curious to see what your guys' thoughts are on that.
Yeah, I would be interested as well. Here's the thing. If you run an eBay business and you really niche down your store, say you're strictly only clothing, I strongly urge you to look at other categories as well, mainly because clothing, for instance, is definitely a lot slower selling in the summertime because, let's face it, shorts and polo shirts and things of that nature just don't merit even the dollar amount that winter clothing, coats, jackets, sweaters do. Jeans and pants as well. All of that stuff sells for higher value typically. So, as an eBay seller, strictly eBay clothing, if you're selling only clothing, I urge you to look into other categories as well, especially in the summertime.
Yeah, there's so many factors I think that makes a successful store during the summertime. It's really interesting to me. A lot of people, when they go thrifting and garage selling, they're going to get a lot of winter clothes if you guys are clothing sellers, because people want to get rid of that during the summer. I think that's really important as an eBayer that you look a season ahead. So right now, in November, December of last year and kind of into January, you should have been looking for summer stuff. That way you could have been posting that stuff now to get that stuff out the door. And then if you did that, then look a season ahead to winter and heavier clothes. That's what you should be procuring right now. So that way in Q3, Q4, you're crushing it. So kind of the idea that you want to be a season ahead. I think that there's a lot of things that I'm doing. Like, for example, I started 2 eBay stores, guys, and I'm using this time wisely. I wanted to start 2 eBay stores for a couple of reasons. One, I know that it's a tad bit slower for me during the summertime, so I figured, you know what, I'm going to start a second eBay store, get that established, and I'll have 2 eBay stores going, and it'll give me a great opportunity to kind of go through my old eBay store, because over time I've changed my photos, my titles, my descriptions. All my processes have changed in the last year and a half, and I would like to do the new process and all the same on the new eBay store. So I think it's a perfect time before it gets into the busy season to start a second eBay store up. Not only like is it exciting to start another one up in some cases, but also to kind of put everything I've learned in 2 years, really honing in and putting it towards like a new eBay store starting fresh. Because sometimes when you have 2,000 items on an existing store, you get overwhelmed to not only edit your old items, but put new items on there. And there's something to say when you start a completely new store, and the way you take photos and the way you do your descriptions and your titles, it refreshes things and puts things in perspective. And that's what I'm doing during the summer.
Yeah. Michelle, a state of order, she said, just you two holding down the fort tonight? No, it's not just us two. It's me and Wade and the 45 others that are watching right now. So there's a lot of us. Absolutely. You know, I think that, you know, it might actually be wise. I can see it either way. A lot of people say, you know, list winter items even in the summer. You know, I've heard that. But your more expensive winter items, what I would do is I would just go ahead and draft those up. Don't take the pictures, but leave them in the drafts folder. That way, the only thing you have to do when the time comes is take the photos and launch the item, right? So you could do a lot of work for later on in the year. You can go ahead and get the majority of the work done, and the only thing you have to do at that point is snap the photos and make add the photos to your draft and launch the item. That's something else that I encourage a lot of people to do, is especially like if you've got some time but you're not ready to launch more listings, just draft up a whole bunch of stuff, and that way all you have to do is take the photographs, and at that point you can boost your numbers on eBay very quickly by doing that, because you'll go from say 300 active listings to 500 in 2 days.
Like, I couldn't agree more. I think that you get that question a lot, right? Do I list stuff that's not necessarily in season? And I think the good answer to that is if you have already listed stuff that is already in season, then go ahead, right? So if you've got if you got swimsuits or something like that, or anything that's summer related, get that listed now and in front of buyers, and then really focus on that stuff after that. But I think right now is a great time to learn, guys. So if it is a tad slower for you, don't panic. I think a lot of people, they'll pull back when it's slower, and that's the time you need to ramp things up. And try other platforms at this moment and see what you'd like. See if, you know, maybe cross-posting between eBay and Poshmark is going to be good for you, or doing Macari. And I find that during the summertime, if something is not working for you, I don't necessarily want to blame it on the time of year. I think you need to change the way you do things, and maybe instead of doing clothes, mix in 5 or 6 listings of hard goods with those clothes. I think it's really important to diversify when it's slow. You don't need to necessarily reinvent the wheel if it's already been working for you, but maybe possibly look at different options like hard goods as opposed to clothing, or another platform at night. Spend a lot of your effort on the one that makes you money, but then maybe try a different platform. There's different things that you can do to try and increase those sales.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, I think definitely try to focus your sourcing. If you don't have a huge backstock like I do, you should try to focus your sourcing, like Wade said, on winter items. But if you don't have a lot of summer items, I would suggest, you know, try sourcing items that don't really have a sway in seasonality. You know, like for instance, comic books, for instance, would be one thing that has no such thing as seasonality. Like hard goods, like Wade and I are talking about, things that don't have seasonality. Some shoes don't have seasonality, but I can tell you from experience that I have had a lot of success selling shoes on Poshmark, and I actually pay someone $55 a week to share my closet on Poshmark on a daily basis, and it's helped out extremely. For those of you that do sell on Poshmark clothing and shoes and accessories, I would suggest looking into the potential of hiring someone to do all of your sharing for you. And self shares are the money maker. Self sharing your items, that's where the money is.
Guys, I remember this time last year, because I actually didn't go full time until April of last year, right? That's when I officially went full time reselling. And I remember I was like, okay, it's Q1. Even though you just had the busy season, you're kind of going into that. Time flies. Now it's already Q2. It's soon going to be a Q3 and then Q4, right? And then that's obviously the time that you're going to be selling quite a bit. And I think it's really important to focus on your business right now and find out where you need help, right? For example, me, I'm getting a part-time lister / photographer actually in my warehouse. So I think it's a really good time to kind of reflect on how you did last year and how you can improve this year. But more importantly, realize that time is flying. And like I was talking to Jason before the show briefly, and it's already almost 2 months, and then we're going to be in Vegas. I mean, we were talking about eBay Open 2 months ago, so it would have been 4 months. Now it's cut in half, a little over 60 days, and we're going to be in Vegas, guys. So I think it's really imperative to kind of look at what you need help with and try to adjust and hit that goal. And a lot of us simply don't want to do it because we don't like doing that hard stuff. But you've got to really look into it. And if you need help, maybe enlist in somebody that can look at your business and kind of find where you need to improve. But summer slowdown, is it a thing? I think it is if you're not prepared, and I think it is if you're not listing the correct items. If you're doing items that aren't necessarily selling right now because of the time of the season or what the item is. I mean, a lot of people don't realize, but some of the stuff you list is not worth a lot of money. And on top of that, you're listing it during a slow time of the year. So I think it's really important to focus on what type of inventory you're listing. And then if you are too late, which I don't think you are, but if you are too late, then focus on, Q3, Q4 right now. Like focus on getting those items right now. So that way you're just a few months to get out of this, situation.
Yeah, I think the best success that I've had on eBay, okay, it was during the winter months, but the same will apply in the summer months, okay, as far as like for clothing. And well, this goes for anything, but in particular, this is a situational thing that I'm going to express to you guys. I had between 500 and 600 active listings. It was all clothing, men's and women's clothing. Okay. I was selling roughly 50 to 60% of my inventory on a month by month basis. And I was bringing in about $3,600 a month clear after fees and cost of goods and everything, just from 500 to 600 active listings in clothing. A lot of people would say that's unheard of. I mean, in clothing, it really kind of is. But here's the deal. When I was outsourcing, I was looking at the item, okay, and I was checking the number of active versus the number sold, okay, and what I was doing was I was dividing the number sold by 3 because eBay shows us how many have sold in 3 months, right? So if we had 50 active and 150 sold, well, then we could say on average the past 3 months, 50 have sold. Now we could say there's currently 50 that we have to compete against and 50 have sold in a month. So we can assume that if it's priced within the given market, we're going to sell it within 1 month. And I would focus on that in particular, and also the average selling price, which I wanted between 30 and 35 or more for any of the clothing that I was buying. And by doing that, I was able to, keep a low stock, high sell through, and good money coming in. So, I mean, the same would apply for here in the summertime as well.
There's so many different things that I look at now that has changed over the last year since I've been full time. So I've been looking at things differently. A lot of times you look at, like, for example, you've got polo shirts, right? Maybe they won't sell really high it doesn't matter what the brand is for one polo, but maybe you can find, like sizes and group them together and sell them together. Um, it's even seasonality is even for YouTube, right? I told you guys that, believe it or not, YouTube views are down for a lot of people. And YouTube picks up during the wintertime because people are home watching they're watching content, right? So even YouTube content, I have a lot of videos that I'm holding and will release in Q3, Q4, right? And because there's no sense in me releasing some of these videos and them getting the views they're going to get when I can wait and do it in prime time. So I think it comes down to knowing what time of year, but more importantly, also knowing the products that you're selling or the audience that you're showing content to. So those are the two things you've got to understand. You've got to know your products better than anybody. And you've also got to understand what season, what type of products you're listing. Yeah, you're going to sell coats. In fact, a week and a half ago, I sold a $200 jacket, $200, literally. I put it on Instagram, and it was a Nike. And so that they do sell, but also realize that now is the summertime. So if you've got those items, you want to list those now. I can't remember how many seasons I've done this where I'm like, I don't feel like listing those and those. And it was actually that type of stuff, the season that we were in. It makes sense to list that stuff now and not hold on to it during the fourth quarter and be like, I've got a bunch of bikinis I didn't list when I could have listed them during prime time. So realize that it's the time of year, and also realize that it's the type of products that you have. You need to know your products. And then I guess the last thing I can tell you is you have to be tenacious and have a killer instinct. Either you're going to succeed or you're not going to succeed. And for us full-timers, if we don't succeed, what are we doing? We're back to a 9 to 5. And as part-timers that want to go full-time, if you don't succeed, you're going to be continuously working your job longer than you want or suspected to. So, just find ways to win, whatever that may be. Find ways to win. And I think that it's truly a mindset.
Yeah, that's something that I've actually had quite a bit of success for. Like, for instance, those of you that have a difficult time, especially in the thrift store, finding items that are of high value. I know that kind of demographics play a big role in that. Okay, I've realized that because what I can find in my thrift store, a lot of people just simply don't have access to in their thrift stores. Okay, maybe it's all picked over, the competition's higher, or maybe there's just not as much wealth in your area, so those things simply don't get donated. But one thing that I have had a lot of success with is, like, say, Polo Ralph Lauren polo shirts. Okay, same example that he gave. If you can get them for $1 each, buy them up. Buy as many as you possibly can and lot them up in lots of 5 to 10, and you'd be surprised. Last I checked, you could get you could sell a lot of 10 Ralph Laurens for $100. Put that in a large flat rate box. You sell it for $100. You only got $10 invested. People actually buy that kind of stuff in bulk.
Guys, look up. He gave you a huge tip, actually. So look up those exact polos, and they're selling for $50 plus $10 shipping. And there's a store out there that actually has them on auction. He has thousands of listings, and the majority of his listings are 5 of those shirts on auction for $50 to $60 every 7 days. Seriously. So I think it's really cool too to spend time in other people's eBay stores, because not necessarily to steal what they're selling, but to get ideas and products that you're walking by every day, or maybe like change your mindset. My mindset has changed to where, like, I now group a lot of stuff together and sell them in bulk lots, because I truly believe if you're full time, you need those bigger, higher dollar wins with the smaller ones. You can't continuously getting these smaller dollar wins. You need a couple big chunks here and there to make things work. And whether that's, multiple streams of income, like YouTube, eBay, a couple platforms, or if it's just from one platform and you're kind of mixing it up with bigger, bulkier items that sell for more. I just think that you've got to change your mindset, because in the next 3 years, they predict that there's going to be I'm not saying eBayers or Amazoners, but way more online small business than there is now. And I can only imagine that a lot more people. I mean, I was in the doctor's office with Mom, right? She got knee surgery. This little paper, I don't even remember the paper. I don't remember the name of the paper. It said, switch to page 6, thrift stores. And this was only a few weeks ago. I switched to page 6, right? This little column. And this is more importantly, that this paper is for, like, the retirement community, right? I mean, it's like, and so I read, girl makes living off of buying used clothes. I'm like, that was so a couple years ago, but it was in this paper, right? I just feel like more and more people are realizing that this community existed. Think before this community, you didn't know that we were all here. You didn't know that Jason had that luscious beard and he was selling used shoes to people online. Now you do. But I think it's really important to realize that competition is going to be there, and the way to set yourself apart is your products and doing the little things that other people don't, like nice pictures, nice title, nice description. And that's one reason why I love starting a second eBay store, is you can clear your mind and really do things perfectly on a new eBay store.
Yeah. Okay. So I've got to give a shout out to my mom because she's in the chat. So happy Mother's Day to my mom, Sheila Deason. Thank you very much for being here. I love you, Mom. All right. So, yeah. So Mama Thrift Trader's in the house, guys. Something else that I would suggest, especially if your thrift stores seem to be picked over, don't underestimate yard sales and kind of start thinking outside of the box on ways that you can possibly, get inventory. I personally have scored very big just walking into a pawn shop, believe it or not. And I know a bunch of other people have. Same applies with storage auctions, okay? And Wade and we're both very big into storage auctions, Wade more so than I am, but that's where the majority, if not all, of our sourcing comes from these days.
Guys, there's stuff everywhere. I think the biggest thing that holds most people back, and I realize this now. By the way, I know we got Thrift Trader Mom in the house. You have, man, what a son you have over here. Pretty amazing guy. Anyways, I think that there's stuff everywhere. And the one thing that I think holds people back, are you guys ready for this? And I've realized this over the last year or so that I've been doing social media, more so because I've been communicating with people. The one thing that holds people back, I believe, on getting, procuring more items to sell online is not telling people that you're a reseller. Okay, it's very simple. I think the vast majority of people, if you simply said that you were a reseller in most cases other than Target, you would actually do a lot better than you are now. And what I mean by that is, when I first started, not a lot of my family or friends knew that I was reselling. You'd be surprised how much junk they have at their house that they'll literally give you or sell you cheap, right? So you've got that option. Another option, think outside the box. This is a tip, right? Go to your dry cleaners. Some dry cleaners will do this. Go to your dry cleaners. A lot of people do not pick up dry cleaning stuff sometimes. You can go to your dry cleaners, and a lot of times they'll donate the dry cleaning. Well, instead, you talk to the owner, because it's always a little Asian guy that owns them, at least in our area. And you talk to them, and you say, "Look, I'm a reseller. I'll pay you virtually, I'll pay you for these." A lot of times they'll give it to you free, depending on your area. But even if you paid $1 per item, they're dry cleaned. They're cleaned, and I would even list them with the dry cleaning sticker. I would list them with the dry cleaning sticker. So think outside your box. And then you've got church sales, garage sales, auctions, storage auctions. The list goes on. So just realize that there's just so much opportunity out there if you just let people know that you're a reseller.
Yeah, that's kind of, a lot of people will say letting people know that you're a reseller will actually give you a worse deal, or they'll catch on and start pricing things higher, this and that. I don't think there's such a thing, honestly. Most of the people that I talk to when I'm trying to do business with, if I tell them I'm a reseller, usually I get a better deal if they are in a position to haggle, because they know that I'll come back. They know that they've got long-term business with me in the future, and that's a big deal.
Yeah, and remember, guys, like, this is such a huge tip that I think goes undervalued. Are you ready for this? So when you go to every single garage sale, print out a business card. Now, it's not necessarily the business card that you're going to want to hand to the people, like the owners of the homes. It's like a soft open, right? So if I go to Jason's house and I explain that I'm a reseller, he may let me in his house and I may be able to buy other stuff. But if you physically hand somebody something from your hand to another, it's not you get like this. It's like a physical, contact to that person, and then you can go ahead and explain that you buy or procure a bunch of items to resell online. And a lot of times that equals to a few things. One, they may have more stuff that they don't have outside their house that they'll show you. 2, I've had people that will hold on to that business card and call me before they do their next garage sale and either let me go first or let me go before they even put anything out because they want to get rid of this stuff, right? Remember, a lot of these people that are putting on these garage sales don't know this world exists. And when you tell them that, they will open up their world and you can purchase more stuff from them. But if you don't tell them, that will probably not happen. And it's a lot easier for you shy folks out there to hand something to somebody than to simply just start talking to them. So it kills 2 birds with 1 stone. If you are very shy, you hand them a business card and you're like, look, I resell virtually everything. And I'll even get texts. Ask Ashley, I'll get texts sometimes from those people, and they'll text me a picture of an item and say if I want it, and then I'll go pick it up. So it opens up the world of opportunities when you let people know.
Oh yeah, it absolutely does. And you know, I guess well, let's see what the chat's saying here. I saw something come up that I wanted to discuss. Joanne's 71 is actually from Oklahoma City. Welcome, Joanne's 71. You're a neighbor of mine. She said, how do you find local storage auctions? Go to storagetreasures.com. That's where you can find at least online auctions locally. And let me see, Barry's Auctions is another auctioneer locally that holds a lot of different storage auctions, live storage auctions. I think in April he had, I think it was 20 straight days, not straight days, but 20 out of 30 days in April, there were storage unit auctions that Barry was holding.
Oh my God, they're everywhere, guys. And you don't know that you go to Storage Treasures. It doesn't work all the time, but it used to be where you can only purchase live storage auctions from their site. Now they have an area, they kind of want to be like the, they want to have all of it in one site. So even though they're not benefiting, they also have an area where you can click live auctions, and some of the live auctions will pop up. So you can, obviously find them there. So there's not just live, there's online. Locker Fox is a big one that's kind of breaking out. And then you've got obviously Storage Treasures and a bunch of other ones. But yeah, think outside the box, guys. Like there's so many cool people that do storage units and government auctions. And there's so many different websites like that you can do to purchase inventory. I mean, inventory is everywhere. That's not the problem. The problem necessarily is capital and just the knowledge to purchase that inventory. And that's really easy now too, because you can just pick up your phone and pretty much type anything in. You'll find an idea of what it's going for, or you can find somebody that knows what it's going for. So, but right now I say garage sales, if you're eBay sellers, is the king. It's the king. So make sure you get business cards from Vistaprint. One last tip is you can call Vistaprint. Even if you don't have a promo code or a coupon code, you call Vistaprint. I do this all the time. And I'm like, hey, how's it? You got to be extremely nice, right? Because you're probably getting somebody overseas. But you'd be like, hey, how's it going? I've used you guys before. I've called before, and you guys gave me a coupon code. They always give me 40% off coupon code when I call their customer service. And I'll put it in even if you're a first-time buyer, and it cuts down those cards pretty easy. So.
Yeah. Yes, I do plan on having a yard sale this week. It's going to be midweek because, again, it's beautiful weather all week. And then when the weekend comes, we get rain. And it's been that way for me for the past 2 months. And I've got 4 storage units sitting in this box truck that I can't unload until I get some room. And I'm going to have to do something different here. So, hey, John, I sent John the invite since Wade and I were just chilling by ourselves. And I figured, hey, John can be the third wheel for the day.
I'm good at being the third wheel.
John, you want to introduce yourself, buddy? Maybe.
What was that again?
Would you like to introduce yourself, my man?
Yeah, hey everybody, my name is John, and I am Never Antiques. I own an antique store in Fredericktown, Missouri. If anybody ever wants to stop by, let me know. I've been selling on eBay for 20 plus years, and I've been full time for over 2 years now, and always looking for more projects. I'm a glutton for punishment.
Oh yeah, yeah. Didn't you just recently opened up your own antique shop or getting close to it, right?
Yeah, yeah.
That's awesome. Well, definitely. Let's see, what else can we cover? Are you guys experiencing any summer slowdowns? I mean, thing is like I always, for the longest time, I had this mentality that my eBay store had to be, strictly this category, like clothing, or strictly clothing and shoes, and everything had to be symmetrical. It all had to look nice and neat and pretty. Um, and it does look good. It's appealing to the eye to go to an eBay store and see all this clothing, and it's all in categories, and things of that sort. But at the end of the day, like I just had this bad taste that an eBay store that's just got whatever in it looked like a big yard sale, just an online yard sale. But let's face it,
Okay.
my eBay store has turned into an online yard sale, and I'm making more money because of it. So now I could care less.
It is. That's pretty much what eBay is. Although most of eBay is actually new products, guys. Just so you know, like the vast majority of eBay is actually new, not used or pre-owned. But I think it's where you. For me, I think of like fourth quarter, the time it's going good. You're selling the stuff that you want to sell, but it's also the time that pretty much everything sells, and the vast majority of things, right? So you can get rid of bad mistakes, bad buys during that time. And then during the summertime, for me, it's experimental time. Like I get my chemist set out and I figure out, okay, do I want to try a different platform a little bit, kind of see that how that goes? Do I want to open up a second store? Do I want to do hard goods and clothing? Like I think it's experimental time during the summertime for me. And then, during the winter time, I use that time not only to sell a lot of stuff, but also get rid of, bad buys and mistakes. So again, it goes to the time of year. But yeah, I think that's, I haven't really, I mean, crap, my little eBay store has got, I think it had like 80 items in it. It's at, almost 6,000 for, my 60-day. And I've only listed on it maybe 5 times since I opened it. So I think there's so many ways that you can make money out there. But I had to credit that towards storage units because I have got some good ones recently. But yeah, it just depends.
How many total items do you have listed on eBay right now, Wade?
On that one store, I'm getting rid of a lot, but I've got 2,200 on the one, and then I've got
Wow.
I think 110 on the new one. But believe it or not, I'm actually phasing out that old one, moving it all to the new one, and then I'm going to kind of rework myself because you guys remember when eBay had that screw up where they took all the pictures except one. Yeah. I'm still working through that on the main one. So
yeah, I think that could be part of my problem too. We've experienced a little bit of slowdown, but mostly it's because I switched gears from focusing on eBay to like, oh, hey, I got a new toy to play with, and buying a storefront, gave me something more to do, and so I've had to kind of refocus because if you don't list, you won't sell, and that's the number one key. If your sales are down and you have money, just go source more product and keep listing and get a little bit more pickier. Maybe not buy that item that's going to set a little bit longer, but focus and be more aggressive. Like some of us have problems with that. A lot of us are really introverted and we don't like to be forceful because we're empathetic and we know that we don't like people being forceful to us. But sometimes we got to break outside of that comfort zone and just be a little bit aggressive and get out there and try to find some of that stuff and make better deals. Don't just take the price they give you. Don't just accept that number. Oh, you want $20 for that? Oh, I'll take it. Be like, no, would you take 15? Because that's when you really make your profit, is when you buy your merchandise.
I think that's a huge tip. The funny thing too is it's funny for me, like when I first started and I wasn't doing as much storage units, I tend to like find myself picking up stuff that doesn't go for a lot of money. I was settling, but as you get sheer volume of items, you can sit back and really, kind of look at the bigger picture and be like, well, I've got so many items because, they could fit a lot in the storage unit. So I can get a lot of these items, cherry pick the expensive ones. And you just have like a different mindset of, I've got so much inventory. I don't necessarily need to list that thing and make $3
Right.
profit on it. So
Yeah, the amount of stuff that you guys get with your storage sheds, I've sat many, many nights watching Jason go through stuff, and I'm like, why am I not buying storage sheds? And then I realized that they're all almost 2 hours away from me, and that's probably why. It's just the logistics of bringing all of that stuff to where I live at. But for you guys that live in those big cities or really close to one and you can buy that stuff, I have watched Jason pull some amazing stuff. 100 Jason is 100% legit. I've watched him dig through boxes for hours. I'm like, holy crap, I can't believe he's pulling that stuff out. But the smalls, that little volume stuff, that's the stuff that I really salivate over, because I know that with my antique booths or my flea market booths that I can just slam that stuff in there for a couple bucks. It was really inspirational watching your yard sale video and seeing all that money that you make, because people don't realize that in volume, when you can price stuff for a couple bucks, you can just throw it out there. There's so much money to be made, because every time somebody stops at a yard sale, they're not there because they're looking to exercise. They're there because they want to buy something, and they want to take something home with them. And I think that that's where we miss a lot of stuff, because we think about the home runs, but we don't think about the getting the first base first so that you can score. And I don't know, it's pretty neat.
Oh, it's massive. That garage sale was like, it was incredible. We made over $8,000, and it was all the smalls. I mean, I'm sure there was some stuff there that could be sold for good money, but it's those types of when you get volume like that, you've got different directions that you can go and options. And I think that the main thing is I never started out like that. I have the last year, but a year ago I was kind of lost in that way. Like, how am I going to procure a bunch of merchandise? And even though I did storage units, then the relationships weren't there, right? I think that's really, really key. Like, the relationship I have, that I can use that 2 acres to blow out stuff, right? So you got to build those relationships, and I think that's what's helped me be more successful.
Yeah, and here's the thing, and I've, John's talked to me a lot about this, and I'm gonna have to just call around. The longer I'm in this storage unit biz, the more connections I make. Like John was saying, talking to me the other day, like, I need to find people that will buy furniture as soon as I get it. Just make connections with people, like, say, people that own furniture stores. Like, they'll literally buy the furniture the moment I get it, and by making those kind of connections, I can liquidate this stuff the moment I get it. So, hey, what's going on, Scott?
What did I miss the show?
Nearly. Scott, introduce yourself, my man.
Man, if they don't know who the Bearded Picker is by now, Lord have mercy. Bearded Picker on Instagram, YouTube, not Facebook, because that'd be kind of weird. But yeah, do Amazon, eBay. I don't do storage units, so. Well, I haven't found any that I would. I don't have any space for a storage unit.
Yeah, you're 9 times out of 10 when we talk to you, Scott, your van is plumb full of liquidation
or whatever. Right now, it's got a lot of retail arbitrage in it.
Yeah. Retail arbitrage is what I meant to say. Where are you at? Are you in a hotel, Scott?
No, this is my new house.
Scott,
here's your sign.
Yeah, I'm in. I think I'm in Plainview, New York. It's in the middle of Long Island, right above. Most people have heard of the golf course, Bethpage Black. It's a real famous golf course. U.S. Open was played on.
Wonder if Krillin's ever been in that hotel room.
I hope not, because then I have to make him give me another one. But yeah, I'm playing in the Northeast for this week. I'm going to go out to the other end of Long Island, and then I'm going to catch up with Krillin tomorrow probably. And
you can have all that New York to yourself. I don't want any of it.
Oh my God, the drivers. I was in Brooklyn for about 4 hours. Man,
oh my!
I know why they have gun policies here now, because they would kill each other. I mean, you park on the side streets. I get that. It's there. There's no parking there, but they just turn the hazards on and double park. So and there's so many times that they were double parked on both sides there was one lane of traffic. So you'd have to, I mean, it was, oh my God, it was frustrating. I got so mad that I finally just decided, man, to hell with this. I've been here long enough. I can't stand this anymore. And I had like 15 stops on my map. I wiped them all off and skipped them all and got out to where, you know, the roads were more normal. Everything had parking lots.
That's crazy. So you're chasing stuff for RA right now. Is that right, Scott?
Correct.
Man, wouldn't that be the life, guys? Just drive around across the entire United States, going from Walmart to Walgreens to CVS to you name it, picking up stuff on clearance, and just load up the van and drive home and send it all to Amazon and sit back and watch the money come in. That's pretty much what you do, ain't it?
A lot. Yeah. So the plans for this week are, hopefully I'll finish up Long Island and the ones I want to go to tomorrow. If not, it'll be Tuesday afternoon. Then I'm gonna catch a ferry leaving because I don't want to go back to the city. So I'm gonna. I've marked off all stops that don't have parking lots now. I mean, Alabama U-turns are hard enough as it is, but when they're double parked and I'm whipping that minivan around, yeah, that's in the rain. That was fun. So there's a ferry that goes from Long Island to Bridgeport, Connecticut. Go up to Springfield, Mass. Have dinner with a patron, somebody I talk to about every day. Become a good friend, and then go play in Boston because it's not a glutton for punishment that I've spent enough time in New York, and then decide what I'm going to do. I'm entertaining the idea of driving all the way to Maine and then heading back because there's so many states. It's one of the states I haven't been to.
Yeah, that's what I was getting ready to say. I know we've talked. You've never been to Maine before.
I just need to put wheels in it. I don't even care what I do. I need to buy one item and put wheels in it.
Yeah,
because that's what I did with
cross the line. Yeah, buy a candy bar and go home.
You know, it has to be something for retail arbitrage. I actually did New Hampshire that way. Johnny was with me when we were on vacation in New York in October. I'm like, I just need to drive 10 miles down here. It will be in New Hampshire. The first exit's got a Walgreens and a CVS. Sure to God, I can find something. And then I did, and we turned around and went back.
You know, something maybe some of you guys have thought about this, but I personally know people that do this, and they are very successful at it. Like, for instance, shoes. Shoes are something with high value, especially if they're new. And what you can do is you can start by going into like Academy Sports and Outdoors, a lot of these big box stores, okay, and make friends with the managers or like the inventory personnel there. And when these shoes go on clearance, if you've got a small cash cow put aside to buy, buy product, you can walk into, say, for instance, you could walk into Academy Sports and Outdoors and say they've got a whole shelf full of these shoes on clearance. Go and talk to the manager, say, hey, will you give me a discounted deal on this clearance if I just straight up buy all of it? And you might be surprised. And that's, if you can get your foot in with one deal like that, odds are you've got a lasting relationship there. So as long as they're happy and you're happy, you can make some big bucks doing that. But trying to think of where to go from here.
Just goes to show that you can make money in so many different directions, guys.
I know where I'm going because tomorrow, John and Charlie and I are going to start the keto to ASD challenge, and I'm in New York, so I'm ordering myself a pizza to celebrate tonight before I have to start keto tomorrow.
That's a dream of mine, is to be in New York City and order pizza. I'm not supposed to eat pizza, but if I ever find myself in the middle of New York or Long Island or anywhere close, I'm going to partake.
I've heard a lot of success stories with the keto diet, Scott. It should work out really well in your favor.
Yeah, I've done it several times. The problem is I go back to eating like my normal self at the end. I need to not do that.
Man, everybody, I mean, I love breadsticks. I don't think I could ever give up breadsticks, especially the ones from
Right.
Little Caesars.
Well, I lost some pounds on the keto diet myself, but now I'm back eating horrible again.
Yeah.
The best way to keep from going back to eating horrible is just never quit eating horrible. That's my motto.
No, Steve, I don't have coupons, and yes, I know you're in Rhode Island. If I've got time, I would definitely get in touch with you. I just need to put wheels in that state too. That's another one of the states that needs to be marked off the list.
Small state, it's tiny. It's easy to miss.
I do not turn off my eBay store. Jacob is handling the shipping. He's actually starting to listen tomorrow.
He called Jacob rocket scientist.
You realize he's an aerospace engineering major at Alabama Huntsville.
Wow. He really is a rocket scientist.
He's on his way to being one, yes.
That's amazing. I didn't know that. You're a smart cookie.
You ask him about school, and then he starts 2 seconds. He goes, "Shoo." I'm like, all right, good talking, son. Good talk.
That's funny. That's great. Oh, yeah. So, hey, curious. This is kind of off the wall. Of course, anybody that knows me, I'm 90% off the wall. But I want to ask the chat, have any of you guys ever held a yard sale in the middle of the week? Just kind of a pop-up yard sale? Because, like I said, I've got to do it. I've had tons of rain. All week it's supposed to be nice. Next weekend it's going to be more rain. So curious to know if you guys have ever had a yard sale in the middle of the week, and was it successful? But let's see. Yes, Anita says yes. Pat D said no with all caps. Tuesday Crocs is releasing Kiss Crocs limited edition. That's interesting. Huh. Let me look at the chat here. Yeah,
if you do it during, I would say like a great opportunity to do that would be during the first of the month, because a lot of people there's a lot of people that are at work weekends anymore anyways now, but then you also can hit the people that are living on Social Security, and other checks. They have more money, more disposable income at that point of the month.
Yeah.
The last of the month, I would say probably not a good idea. The first, middle would be okay. The end of the month, it'd probably be worse. But I've never did it. I'm just speculating.
Well, I don't have really anywhere to go this week. So I think what I'll probably end up doing is tonight after the live show, just start dragging things out into the yard. And we're not expecting rain for another 5 days. So the stuff that's out there, I if it gets stolen, I really don't care. So it'd be doing me a favor if they come and steal
it. Barry, you had to. Someone check Wade's pulse. It's a long. Hey, I was using this opportunity to eat food since these other two showed up.
Yeah, hey, that explains why Wade was so quiet. He had his mouth full of food.
Yeah, you guys look. This is the stuff right here. Okay, you put this on a hamburger, it'll taste good. I promise.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Michelle, I live about 1.5 miles south of a busy road and 2 miles west of another busy road. So I think it'd be all right. Pat,
just go put some signs up.
All right, pizza's on its way. 30 minutes.
30 minutes. 30 minutes. Well, guys, do you have?
Hopefully,
just out of curiosity, if you guys have any questions, please type them in the chat. We're kind of, we're nearing an hour now. So we'll probably be shutting it down here pretty soon, but I want to answer questions if you guys have any.
All right, we'll use.
Hopefully your pizza delivered by a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle. That would be kind of cool, though.
Q&A, guys. Q&A.
Dude, that's actually really smart. Dang it. Sorry, Wade. Go ahead.
No, I'm just going to say, I Q&A, but don't let me. I won't answer them. We're going to let these tardy folks over here answer them, right, Jason?
Yeah. That's actually really smart, guys. If if you have a pizza delivery guy or gal in your family, tell them to wear a TMNT costume because I guarantee you they'll probably make better tips.
Yeah, it would be funny. Yeah.
That's funny.
Where did I get my
Are you?
It's from Mama Lino's.
Real New York style pizza. Has to be.
Yeah.
Mama Lino's. So you're thinking about, so you're going to pull everything out and have a yard sale. I know a guy that he has a garage about your size, and what he does, he goes to auctions and he buys a lot of furniture items, some smalls, but mostly furniture. And he posts it. It's called Kevin's Place on Facebook. And he posts stuff on there, and then people come to his shop and they buy. And that dude is making a fortune. I mean, he's literally, there's people out there all the time. Whenever I show up, you have to get out there real quick because he doesn't hold anything for anyone, which is smart business practice. That way people, there's a reason they need to get out there. And normally when they go out there, they'll buy multiple items because he has so much stuff. So I think that if you want to go that route, that, set up your own, we've talked about this, set up your own Decent Deals Facebook page and just post that stuff and let people come to you, man. You live close enough to major cities to make some money. Plus you got some warehouse space.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is like, I'm probably gonna have to find another place, another home for all of my eBay and Amazon inventory, because I would like to eventually make my shop just a warehouse open to the public type deal a couple of days a week. That's really where I want to go with it. But I know that I could probably just get away with covering up my eBay inventory, but then you get pride reason.
Always get your shed.
Yeah, I've got a shed, but my lawnmower.
I quit my job, my corporate job, and now I'm in a shed.
And a garage.
I think, the funny thing is I don't know if anybody in here has bought storage units before, but man, dressers, they fly off the shelf if you get them. And
right.
People don't want to have those big items in the garage, but they're a decent $100, $150, sometimes $200 for solid wood dressers now. Like, they fly.
Yeah, dressers are the fastest moving piece of furniture ever, and probably the slowest moving would be a couch. I've been in this business not too long, but long enough to figure out what moves and what doesn't.
That's right. Yeah. I've talked to a lot of guys that make furniture, and they make tables, and they make tables and chairs and stuff like that. I'm like, if you want to make some money, make dressers. Make a 5-drawer dresser and sell that. And I said, you'll beg people to buy your Amish style handmade table and chairs. I said, but if you built dressers, you would never have to beg anyone. There'd be a waiting list for them. I've never seen anything like it in my life.
Yeah, it's got my first start with storage units many years ago. Nice money from bars. I mean, those suckers are addicting. Whether you're getting adult toys or you're getting coins or you're getting paperwork, like, I'm always shocked every box I look at.
Adult toys, he says. Man, I'll tell you. Well, I'll keep it PG for everybody. But man, some of these things I pull out of this. Out of these storage units is just like, holy crap, man! What is this thing?
Why is it sticky?
Oh, that's into another whole. Hey, Jason, guys, you got to remember, Jason. He's still becoming. His eyes are peeling a little bit now that he's been doing some things.
I got virgin eyes. What am I looking? What have I got myself into?
It's all dishwasher safe, so just get you an old dishwasher, throw it out in your garage, and just run them through a couple cycles and lay them out on the yard sale table.
Oh yeah, make a great Christmas topper, Christmas tree topper, right?
Right.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, okay. Where are we going? Summer slowdown is only slow if you make it slow. That's all I gotta say. If one tip for me, guys, is, man, people harp this all the time. You hear it on all the YouTube channels, right? It's like, and instead of counting cheap, this goes in your brain constantly, right? And that is the reason I say list is because you're not making money if the stuff's behind you and it's not in front of people. So you have to list to get the stuff in front of people, and then that equals to money. A lot of times they're like, well, it gets the algorithm going. Like I always picture like these big old like cranks, you know what I mean? Like, and they go quicker and quicker as you list on your eBay store. But in all reality, I think what happens is you're just simply getting more inventory that has not had an eyeball on it, and now you're putting eyeballs on it in front of buyers, and that's what's selling, and that's how you make money.
Yeah, definitely, guys. Just if you're stuck in a niche of selling like strictly clothing or whatever, just do yourself a favor and start looking at other items. Nobody said that you have to only sell clothing. Maybe you're telling yourself that, but definitely look at other items. I mean, I sold like 7 pieces of paper. Literally, it's just paper and ink, guys. I mean, they were just like, I wish I still had them, but I shipped them already. They were like little pamphlets that were mailers, had to do with Dungeons and Dragons, but like it was maybe this thick.
Man, you killed it.
And it sold for $400. It was paper. Most people would think that was trash. And
no, ephemera is where it's at, man. I mean, people, and that's the thing. I know a lot of storage shed people that just throw the stuff like that away. And I've had to train the guy that he does 100 U-Haul auctions. I want to interview this guy on my channel. And he sells. He's the auctioneer for U-Haul in St. Louis, and that's just one of his contracts. And man, I had to work with him and say, don't throw this stuff away. I gave him a list of things that I buy because he was pitching stuff that most people would just be like, wow, I can't believe that he found that. And it's just crazy. Yeah, that paper stuff is great.
Yeah, it's mind blowing. But anyways, guys, yeah, definitely look into selling things other than clothing. It definitely helps. Let's see.
Who needs clothes, right? Just run around naked, guys. I mean, that's what the world's gonna do. That's just nobody.
Ain't nobody want to do that. At least not me. It ain't gonna work.
You got your new place, dude. You're gonna be lifting stuff constantly. You're gonna look like the Hulk over there.
Shoot, I'm gonna look like the. Nope, probably not gonna work. I like to eat. I get bored. I'm an emotional eater. I'm like,
I'm right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just had a wild idea for my yard sale. Probably won't happen this time, but what I'd like to do is get one of those spin the wheel things, and like say if you spend $10, you spin the wheel, you get a chance to spin the wheel, and you'll get like an extra number of dollars wherever it lands on the wheel free. And so then you just haggle the extra number of dollars, what free product, free stuff. That'd be fun.
Yep. Oh yeah.
I do mystery.
You could give away those little friendly things that we were talking about. That could be really cool. No,
just kind of have one on the wheel, and that's what the
show.
Oh man, yeah, but John, that's a good idea. You could have like a couple of spots being mystery boxes.
Yeah,
I do mystery boxes at my antique mall. I put stuff when I get a lot of stuff that I really don't feel like pricing individually, like themed stuff, like Disney World or toys or plush or whatever. I will put that in a themed box, and I take this bright colored paper here, and I'll put question marks on it. And it'll say mystery box. I have sold every one of those that I've ever put in my antique booth. Every one, without fail.
Well, dang.
People love it, man. I'm telling you, you could. There's a YouTube video. Take all your extra stuff, put it in boxes, stick it out at a yard sale, and have a mystery box yard sale. Okay. I guarantee you, people will be buying them like crazy, and guarantee that 2 boxes have $100 bill in them.
Oh man, Like, get this. I tried this on Facebook Marketplace. I had like a 24-inch by 24-inch by 18-inch box plumb full of clothing. It was women's clothing, over 60 pounds. And I just called it a big ass women's clothing. That's what
Titles are the best, guys. If you need title help on eBay, you ask him.
Yeah. Well, it wasn't eBay. It was Facebook Marketplace. But literally, the title of the listing was Big Ass Mystery Box, all women's clothing. And I had it priced at like $25, and I still got the sucker. I guess the title didn't work.
Oh, my God.
Oh, well.
Bringing all the boys to the yard, but it was actually all the girls there. Anyways.
Scott's pizza must have arrived because he just bounced out.
He's eating that. Well, I think that it's been a great show, entertaining show. I just want to say again, happy. This is your day, Mother. This is your day. All right, have an amazing Mother's Day to all you mothers out there. And to Jason's mom, I'm sorry that we have it R-rated, but happy Mother's Day to you as well. Seriously.
Oh my gosh, Mom.
Oh, what did Mom say?
She said, good way to get rid of that urn, Jason. Mystery box. No, you can't do that. That's disrespectful.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Can't do that.
Shipping, huh?
Okay, we have got, all right, this is getting out of hand, guys. Thank you so much for joining us. If you're not subscribed to Evermore Antiques on YouTube, you should be. John's a great dude. He's always got amazing videos. The guy's got a lot of work ahead of him, but he's a go-getter, no doubt. Wade's Ventures, also subscribe to him if you haven't. If you love storage units, Wade's the man, all right? He's the main man. So, guys, closing statements, and we'll let it go.
After you, Wade.
Oh my gosh, I feel like a schoolgirl. It's my first time ever being first. Guys, I can't say this enough. Like, I'm just glad to be in this position. Like, I reminisced because last April, I can't remember, 19th of last year, I went full time. So it's been a year. I'm super excited to see what the next year can bring. And I just want to say much love to Jason. Like, seriously, this guy. What was it, a few months ago, nobody knew about him. Now everybody knows about him, and there's good reason for that because he's really humble, amazing storage unit. Glad to be on his channel. Smash the like button. And this man's got the second best beard in the business. That should count for something. So anyways, I appreciate everybody showing up tonight. Happy Mother's Day to all you mothers. You guys deserve it. You girls deserve it. You ladies deserve it. And yeah, that's it.
I guess that leaves me. I just want to thank everybody. I'm sorry that Jason brought me on, and I tend to make things go south. I have a mind that's like, oh, look, a squirrel. Oh, look, a squirrel. No, but I think that, if you're here and you're listening and you're educating yourself, that's the biggest step that you can take in this business because there is no replacement for work smarter, not harder. You can be a hard worker and you can just spin your wheels over and over, just bury yourself deeper in the sand. But when you put education to hard work, you're going to be successful. So that's awesome. My internet's messy. I think we're having storms rolling in. So I appreciate it. If you haven't subscribed to me, I would really covet that. And I do have a video over there on my channel about Mother's Day. I'm giving away a $25 gift card to one mother. If you're a mother, just comment on there. And I would love to meet some new people. Some of my best people, some of my closest friends are people that I met off YouTube. Thank you for letting me come on, Jason.
Not a problem, John. Anytime. All right, guys, that's it for tonight's show. Thank you so much for being here, and we'll catch you next time. So until next time, keep on picking that trash and making that cash. Boomer sooner.